Hi, I'm Craig Longnecker. Welcome back to the Roots Cooking Show. Let's go shopping. Good. Hi, I'm Craig Longnecker, and welcome back to the Roots Cooking Show. In tonight's episode, we're going to be focusing on the prepared items and the prepared products that you can find at Roots Country Market. They're not like raw ingredients like produce and meats and cheeses. What we're going to take are the finished products, like whoopie pies, subs, and soft pretzels, and we're going to use those and transform them into meals. The creativity and the possibilities are endless. So let's start cooking. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to make dessert. And these are whoopie pies, which are like a Pennsylvania Dutch like staple. They're a cake base with a nice cream filling. And they're called whoopie pies because Pennsylvania Dutch mothers would make them for their husbands and their sons when they worked, and they would sneak them into their lunch pails. So when the workers like found them in their lunch pails, they'd go, whoopee! So that's why they're called whoopie pies. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the tops and the bottoms off of the whoopie pie. Take the cream and put the cream aside. We're going to take the top and the bottom, put them between two pieces of plastic wrap, and roll them out with something hard and round. I used a rolling pin. I don't know what else you could use, but after we take the cream, we're going to add, with the cream that we set aside, we're going to add craisins and chopped peanuts, and then we're going to re-add those later. And now that we have our whoopie pie tops flattened, we're going to add our filling. And the filling is the cream that we took from the original whoopie pies. We added about 1/4 of a cup of chopped peanuts, 1/4 of a cup of craisins. And we're just going to add a little bit and roll it up. And don't be afraid. I'm not going to say this was easy, rolling these out. They will crack and crumble a little bit. What we're going to do to compensate is we're going to top it with fudge. It kind of like bring everything together. Make it look nice. So now that the whoopie pie has the filling, we're just going to roll it. Be very gentle. Kind of make it like kind of a Swiss roll. Reinventing a Swiss roll. Now that we have our whoopie pies deconstructed, rolled up, and the cream is inserted, we're going to add the chocolate. This was just put on a double boiler, and we're going to drizzle that on top. After we do that, we're going to top it with a little bit leftover craisins and peanuts. After that, we're going to put them into the freezer so they harden up while we do the rest of dinner, so they're ready for dessert. And tonight, for our appetizer, what we're going to make are soft pretzel finger sandwiches. And these are homemade soft pretzels with sweet bologna, American cheese that we actually smoked in my uncle's smokehouse, some apple, and honey mustard for sandwiches. We're going to take our pretzel and we're going to cut it into little pieces. And these little pieces are going to sit on our plate. And the way that they're going to sit, they're going to act like a little ramp. And we're going to rest the sweet bologna and the cheese on that ramp. And it's going to launch all that nice, delicious food right into your mouth. And the thing about making some hors d'oeuvres or an appetizer is it gets people into the kitchen. Rather than you sitting around having to do all this prep work by yourself, what you do is you make a quick little appetizer and get your family, get your roommates, get your friends to come into the kitchen with you and talk. Or they talk and you just listen. You can. It's friendly and it brings people together. So I always like having hors d'oeuvres or an appetizer when I cook. And after we cut up our pretzels, we sliced our salami and our cheese and our apple. And now what we're going to do is we're going to plate. And we have honey mustard, which is literally honey and mustard. The honey is locally produced honey, and we're just going to put two little dabs on the plate. And with these dabs, I'm going to drag a spoon through it and make it look kind of nice. And then we're going to set up our ramp. And I said like a ramp because the sloped pretzel is going to have all the other remaining ingredients resting on top of it. So here we go. And this allows the person who's about to consume it, if you will, to grab both pieces of the pretzel and bring their hand together. And it's going to slide on the honey mustard, and it's going to come up in, as a perfect little finger sandwich. And for our entree, we have to prep our vegetables. We're going to slice our cucumber, slice our onion, and we're going to cut off the bottom of the romaine and take the leaves. And thanks through the power of editing, it's magic. Along with our romaine, our basil, our onion, and our cucumber, we have locally produced mozzarella cheese and homemade subs. These use local meats and cheeses and are made at Roots. What we're going to do first is we're going to take all the meat and the cheese out of our sub, which we're going to deconstruct and then reconstruct into a stromboli. And with our subs, what we're going to do is we're going to hollow them out a little bit, take off the edges, so when we make our stromboli, everything's flat and even, so we can melt them. What we have is the oven is preheated to about 350, and we're going to take the trimmed loaves of bread that come with the sub. We're going to toast them for about 5 or 10 minutes and get it nice and crunchy. We're going to take them out of the oven, put our meat and cheese, marinara sauce, and mozzarella, and some basil on top of them, and then put them back into the oven to melt all the cheeses. And now our bread's out of the oven. And what that helps do is really toast up the bread. We're going to add locally produced marinara sauce to really make it a stromboli and not just another meat sandwich. We're going to apply it to both sides and then top it with a little bit of mozzarella cheese and then put it back in the oven. And you notice that we only have 2 subs. So what I had planned was that after I would take them out of the oven, cut them in half, and then plate 4 dishes. And now we took the stromboli out of the oven, and we topped it with a little bit of freshly chopped organic basil. And now we have to fold it. To make it a true stromboli, it has to be closed. But please, be careful, be gentle, because you don't want to break the back of the bread. And I'm going to plate half of this for each serving. Once again, this has been the Roots Cooking Show. I'm Craig Longnecker, and I really want to thank you guys for tuning in. Check us out on our YouTube page, on Facebook at Roots Country Market and Auction, and come down on Tuesdays where you can buy all the ingredients.
Good.